I'm ready.
Cool. This is off a gas pump nozzle, obviously. It's for, I believe they put it on gas pumps for diesel trucks. I work at an aluminum foundry in Wright City, and I actually pour this part every day. This part right here. And the rest of it comes from the Husky plant that we sell it to. And there's a big long process that goes into making aluminum parts. The way that we do it at the foundry where I work is we start with sand molds. The sand has a resin in it that when it's heated up to 800 degrees makes the sand stick together. And so we make molds out of sand, and then we heat them up, they stick together, and then we can pour the aluminum into them. And I actually do the pouring, and so the aluminum gets poured somewhere between 1200 and 1600 degrees, and it's not that dangerous, even though it sounds dangerous. And we pour off by the hundreds of parts. We make lots of different parts, but this is one of our most famous parts. We also will then, after it gets poured, it takes about 10 minutes, and it's hard enough to get out of the sand molds. But we'll usually wait 24 hours just to make sure we're not going to ding it up, because when metal's still hot, it's soft. And so about 24 hours later, we'll get them out of the sand molds, and it actually has 2 of these parts per mold that are connected with what we call a gate, and it's where you fill in the aluminum, and then it also helps so that as the part shrinks, as it cools, it keeps feeding it more aluminum through the gate. So then after that, we'll cut them off of the gate, and then we'll grind any miscellaneous nicks or burrs that are in them so that they can go to the machining. And then we send them off before we send them to Husky, who's the maker or the machinist. They'll go through a heat treat process for hardening the aluminum, and what they'll do is they heat the parts up to just below melting point and hold them there for 24 hours, and that helps to harden the metal. And then they'll dump the parts into a vat of water to cool them off instantly, and that helps to harden them so that they're more safe at the gas pump. And then Husky will attach all these other parts. These are called 1+8s. So this one part that I pour plus 8 individual parts that go in here. And so there's 8 parts that make up this gas nozzle. And then Husky sells them to gas stations along with their swivels and all kinds of other different Husky parts that we make. If you go just up the road here to the BP gas station, at the bottom of the gas nozzle for pumping gas in your car, there's a little swivel, and it says Husky on it, and it has a little A on it. That stands for Alpha Foundry, and I probably poured that within the last year. So it's pretty cool to be able to see my parts in use at a gas station, but I've never seen one of these in use. I don't know exactly where they use these. So this is a aluminum gas nozzle, and I pour these every day. That's my show and tell.